The Nipah virus and why it is not the next pandemic. To start out, we're going to watch a little video about the Nipah virus.
Can also be spread between people or from contaminated food. Those who contract the virus may be asymptomatic, but in worst cases may suffer serious respiratory illness or a fatal inflammation of the brain, WHO says. The Nipah virus gets its name from a location in Malaysia where it was first detected in a large outbreak in 1999. It has since been detected in West Bengal and later Kerala. According to a news website On Manorama, 17 people had died of the Nipah virus in Kerala in 2018, allegedly linked to consuming mangoes bitten by fruit bats. In Hashim's case, local health officials have reportedly suspected that he was infected after eating a contaminated rambutan fruit. For The Print, this is Raghav Bichundani.
The Nipah virus first emerged in 1998 in Nipah, Malaysia. 265 cases were reported with 105 deaths. 600 more cases have occurred in South and Southeast Asia as of 2021. Symptoms include fever, cough, respiratory difficulties, headache, vomiting, coughing, and encephalitis. It has a high mortality rate and there is no vaccine. The Nipah virus is in the Henipavirus group, and it is closely related to the Hendra virus. It is an enveloped RNA virus. The Nipah virus is a zoonotic infection. The natural reservoir is the fruit bat. Pigs are an intermediate host. The spillover occurred from agriculture expansion and farming practices. Proximity of date, palm trees, fruit bats, pigs, and humans created the conditions for the emergence. Infected bats feed on the fruit. The infected fruit falls to the ground. The pigs eat the fruit, then infected pork is eaten by humans. Humans can also be infected by eating the fruit.
When discussing the exposure to humans, in Malaysia, most human infections resulted from direct contact with sick pigs or their contaminated tissues. Transmission occurs through unprotected exposure to secretions from pigs or unprotected contact with the tissue of a sick animal. There were also outbreaks in Bangladesh and India where the exposure to humans was through the consumption of fruits or fruit products, such as raw date palm juice, contaminated with urine or saliva from the infected fruit bats. Human-to-human transmission of the virus has also been reported among family and caregivers of infected patients. During the outbreaks, Bangladesh and India, the virus spread from human to human through close contact with people's secretions and excretions. This virus can be transmitted to humans from animals such as bats and pigs, or contaminated foods, and can be transmitted directly from human to human.
Effective methods to prevent becoming infected include avoiding eating and drinking raw date palm sap, minimizing exposure to bodily fluids, and avoiding close contact with infected people by wearing PPE such as masks and gloves, disinfecting the hands and body, and attendants and caretakers of sick patients should use 70% alcohol disinfectants or wash with soap and water. Incinerate infected corpses because contact may transmit the virus to healthy people. Sampling and testing for new infections, and culturally credible public awareness campaigns using interactive strategies such as verbal and visual descriptions of risk and prevention measures. Though there is no vaccine, there are current efforts to research and develop one.
In order to infect someone else, you must be in close proximity and come into close contact with one another. While this does not rule out the possibility of a pandemic, the chances of the virus mutating to replicate in the upper respiratory system and becoming an airborne illness are slim. Like other zoonotic illnesses, the actual spillover occurrence from bat to human, as well as the persons directly impacted, is more of a concern than the potential for pandemic transmission. Stopping the spread of the virus eliminates the potential of a pandemic. Therefore, we do not think the Nipah virus will become the next pandemic based on prevention strategies that public health puts in place. This virus does not have the capability to become the next pandemic.
In conclusion, the Nipah virus is a dangerous virus, but it can be controlled through public health efforts by washing hands, wearing gloves, and using the proper PPE. This virus can be deadly, but it will not be the next pandemic. Thank you.